Come along. Come on. You've all been waiting to see this. I want to see it too before the sun sets. I've been away all day again, so I'm not getting the time I want in my garden, folks. Frustrating to say the least. So this is after yesterday's dig. We did not bad considering the sunset, and you know, it got pretty dark at the end. I'm just going to give it a light water because on top it's dry, because we've got to mulch this as well. But before we do that, I'm going to dig it over a little bit more, and I want to show you what's going on underneath now. This is a day after we hydrated it as we turned it. So we got as much water down deep below to absorb into the soil, into the mix that we created. This is not a lot of water that I'm applying now, it's just hydrating the surface. So I would say that the ground, if not super wet, it'll be mildly wet, if that's an expression to use. And enough so that we have broken up those stupid roots. I'm going to come on that side. Stupid roots that are growing underneath here, and I dare say they are coming from the gummies, the natives that I got there, the trees. And they're getting mixed into here too as well. So a lot of their roots are getting torn up, and whatever's going to be left in the soil, we'll expect it to decompose. So we expect all the composting creatures, the slaters, the butchie boys as we know, and other creatures, centipedes, millipedes. If we get any earwigs, I'll be excited to see them as well, because I haven't seen them for a while in my garden. And not that every garden's activated as good as I'd like it to be, so you would expect to see some of those composting creatures. Then again, this garden bed's pretty dead. It looks alive on top with a pretty mulch on it, but underneath was crap. So let's have a look. Let's avoid the pipe and bring it up. Still a little bit dry, see that? Just a little bit. So, we got a couple of dry spots, mate. We missed a couple there. You want to hold onto the hose while you're holding that, what do you call it, a camera? There we are. Okay, so just a little bit more water. I think, well, we've done pretty well considering I haven't held the garden fork to dig, I won't say years, but months. There's our mulch. Okay, all right, I get the idea of what's going on here. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough, mate. Oh, I'm gonna swear now. I scored a bag. It's got a little hole in it, so defective means I can take it. If you're watching it, Vasily's garden team, yep, you're one bag short now. This is our planting mix, folks. I'm just gonna throw this all over the garden bed. I was going to just go with the superfood, but I've got in this bag here, we've got our blackberry, we've got charcoal, we've got worm castings, we've got manures, we've got compost, we've got all the amazing amendments that we use, or blend I should say. And I'm just going to add it back into here and try and dig it in again. So one more dig. One more dig. Here we go. You can get on the hose too, by the way. Multitask, come on. There's a little bit of that in you. So just get it in there. Now, oh mate, you know, pushing the boundaries here, you are. What are you doing? I don't know if you've just lost your mind. Then again, I don't think you've ever had it, mate. Yeah, we can understand why we don't like digging, because it's bloody hard. And as you get older, it just seems to get harder and harder. So the no dig is a great concept or approach. Maybe it's not a concept because it's already been practiced. But you really got to get down deep below to understand what's really going on in your soil, folks. Especially starting new garden beds. But if you had, in the past, like I've had, some not so entertaining experiences with soil, a little bit here, mate. Right? And you're trying to grow again season after season in the same bed and only top dressing. Reality is, if you don't get those amendments down deep below, or if anything, the water is life, as we know. You don't get that down there, you're gonna have the best soil in the world. Ain't gonna do shit for you. Now what you see here, multiple roots going on in here, folks. So we've got the leeks in here as well. We've got the capsicum in this section here, but we've also got this invasive root that's come through. And I dare say it's mixed up in this little pile here of roots. Maybe that wasn't, I think I just snapped that off the capsicum, but nevertheless, as you saw earlier, we've got some big, not big taproots, big feeder roots in search for moisture and food in this garden bed, which has been the cause of our problem, and that's exactly it. That's the cause. The roots coming in from larger trees or plants surrounding this bed, plastic underneath or whatever you want to line it with, if it's going to sit on the ground, whether it's just a liner, it's going to penetrate through eventually. Even if you puncture you don't puncture it, it will somehow push its way in. It's amazing how nature works like that. Just think about the PVC pipes, actually before the PVC pipes, the ceramic pipes around the house. How many times you get tree roots getting inside those and blocking them all up, the sewage lines, the stormwater pipes, and you're bringing people down there to just drill them out again and, you know, repair the issues. So trees do that, and that's an example of what can happen in the garden bed. Now, I've treated the symptom, and I've basically semi-cut it off, not cleanly, but cut off whatever I found from this point back. I'm anticipating that it's coming from that direction. It could be coming from both, who knows. But I've cut off what I could find, but more than likely it's going to grow back. And when it does, it may be not in one season, maybe in a year's time. This time next year, I'm experiencing the same problem in this patch here. No doubt, and I'm going to say it before it even happens, these plants are going to take off now because it's nice and loose, it's blended, we've got texture in it, we've put our amendments into the soil as well, we've got our drip line, we're going to use that too, we're going to put our mulch over the top and still overhead spray. So this bed here should become saturated from top to bottom, as are the other beds that I've built from scratch using the right layering of technique. Whereas these other beds, that one there and these two, let's segregate them in square sections. These three beds are going to give me grief. So once I plant in here and see these plants taken off, I'm going to probably turn around and do exactly the same in the remaining part of this garden bed and clean it up, turn it over, put some amendments in there like that, the planting mix, plant my seedlings and plants back in there again, and then relax for a good year. I don't have to touch it again, hopefully. But really the treatment is to treat the cause, and the cause is, let's say it's coming from there. It would be more than likely a nice deep trench along the edge here, near to the edge, where I can sort of cut off any roots that are coming past this boundary line. That would fix the problem. Or otherwise, once it goes to shit again and I can't be stuffed trenching, I'll just scrap it. Plant potatoes, maybe they'll grow. That's what we started to do. So we might end up being a potato bed at the end of the day that will help to aerate it, and it will have to cause us to dig it up anyway. So for now, seedlings are going back in. I'm not going to do a lot with these. I'm just going to hydrate them from the top. There's moisture in the bottom, really wet. Oh yeah, look at that. That is super wet. It's still fresh, meaning it's got to activate. And some people suggested to put worms in here. Well, I'm going to respond by asking the question, who's ever had grass growing in their gutters of their house or garage or shed? And if you have you ever gone up there to pull it out yourself or clean it out yourself and discovered there are worms up there as well? I have, many a times, not just once, plenty of times. So do I need to really add any of those wonderful creatures of the earth? I don't think so. We build it, they will come. And I think we've sort of started to build it properly now. Pretty average burial here, isn't it? Look at all these roots coming out everywhere. They'll decompose. All right, we'll separate these ones because I want my leek to be separate to my capsicum. Yeah, there's a capsicum. That's the other leek that'll go here. Let's do it properly, Vasily. All right, the garlic chives are back in. Be it all matted as they are. I'm sure they'll settle down. We're going to give them a deep watering. But I'm going to claim defeat here, folks. Yeah, I'm going to claim it. The young lad holding that equipment there, pointing at me, is insisting that I get a handful of worms from the other garden beds. So, you know, there's no harm in doing that. So why wait for nature to do it for you? Because they will turn up. And technically, these beds are composting beds. That's how I look at them. They're always activated. They should always be activated, and they will always peak, and they'll have their troughs. So this has obviously gone at its lowest point, the other beds, and now we're going to bring this back up to peak again at its optimum level with, you know, the biodiversity of life that we want to see in this soil. So, and that includes worms. So let's go and grab some. I've gone to the side bed. I haven't gone to that bed there we've showed you before in the past, all the worms in this. So this is the first time I'm digging this bed over. We're grabbing some stuff out of here, and I'm going to go down deep below and see how much moisture there is. Here we go. Moisture. There's moisture. Did I get a worm? There's a worm there. Not as many worms as I anticipate, but the soil's pretty cold, we can say that. But that is moist. So we're going to hunt for some worms here now. Bear with me. They're pretty quick to move too, by the way, in the soil. So there's worms in here. Yeah, there's about 8 or 9 worms I've seen so far as I'm breaking it apart. Don't let it collapse on you. Let me just take this handful over. Hey, Cara. You want some worms? I'm back at this bed here that I showed you 2 days ago, folks, and I'm just going to take another handful of soil out of here. And why I'm doing this now to show you is because of the moisture level. I haven't watered this from, it'd be at least a week now. No water given to it at all, folks. And it's super moist. You know, we're building humus here, we're building life, and it's a home for all the good composting creatures and the, you know, the biodiversity of microbes and, you know, the fungi and bacteria. So this soil is beautiful. And I'm just going to dig a little bit over here. Oh, I disturbed a silver beet. Naughty me. Here's another batch. Everywhere it's great. It's all beautiful. Yep, there were hundreds of worms here earlier on. And I'll tell you why they're not here now, because the soil's bloody cold. It's not warm, that's for sure. It's a lot colder than what it was. So they may move down lower or move out or just hibernate. Who knows? I don't know the ins and outs of a worm, but I know how good they are for the earth. Did I bring the trail back? Seriously, didn't I bring it? Did I? Oh, it's just in my face. Look at that. All right. Does Vasily perform? Does he switch on when the cameras come on? Does he become a different person? Yeah. Did I put my camera voice on? I don't think so, folks. If you don't know me by now, you should change channels, because it means you're not watching. Yeah, that's my voice. All right, I haven't watered it. Oh, God, bugger me now. I've got this issue. We've unstabilised it completely. Everything's unstable here. We're going to have to harvest those anyway. They're ready. I can't touch them now. My hands are dirty. So we put a small handful of worms in here. We've put our seedlings that we dug out back in here again. You can give it a water. That's a good idea. Mate, this is so loose and so textured. See, that's not soaking there now, right there, because of the root system below. That's the matted roots that we have still. So, is it? Or is it just waterlogged now? All right, I'm just punching little holes in here to get the water underneath the root system. Yeah, it's going, it's fine. All right, we've got to mulch this now. Thank you, Cara. There we are. This is our bamboo mulch. I've had this mulch soaking in here for a couple of days and it stinks. So 2 days is a good amount of time, I think. Top part needs a little bit because it was sitting above the water line, but underneath is fine. Oh, it stinks. Look how clean it is. Just drip all over you. That's it there. So what I've done with the mulch is I've added the biostimulant. It's a liquid fert. Plenty out there in the market you can choose from, but if you want the best, hey, hello, get some of that stuff into your garden and soak your mulch in there as well. And I can tell you, and those who've done it, please share, comment below, above, whatever platform you're watching, and let us know your results. So important that others share their experiences with some of these techniques that I'm trialing out, admittedly, and getting some great results. And I'd love to hear from others the same. Because, you know, the more people who share their experiences, good or bad, the quicker we all learn and we all adjust to get a better outcome, obviously, because that's what ultimately we're trying to do here. Reduce our inputs and increase our outputs along with the nutrient density that we want to have. And you're not going to get that from food from the most or the bulk of the retail super giants, folks. Most of that stuff is grown in an environment where they are picked early, they're not picked ripe for storage purposes, and then they're stored again, and then by the time you get it, it looks like, it may, well, I won't say even smell like, it just looks like the produce that you've gone to buy. But when you, if you can do the science experiment and analysis on it, you'll see quite clearly it isn't. I mean, just think about your nose, eh? Think about your nose, the sense of smell. You know, we can all agree, I'd love to say that when it comes to smelling and tasting homegrown versus store-bought, chalk and cheese, huh? Well, I'd rather eat the cheese than the chalk. So in this case, the veggies. All right, so my mulch has gone down. What I've got to get in here now are a lot more seedlings, so we can just fill up all the pockets and gaps in this bed in here, so we can see how good it activates, because it should take off. And then we'll monitor this over the coming days to see how the moisture is holding, retaining the moisture compared to these beds. Remember, for those who haven't seen it and you're watching this video for the first time, these are the beds that haven't been dug, right? Oh, if I can get my hand in here. Right, I'll show you what's underneath here. Dry dirt, basically, just dry as a bone. And in here, I'm going deep. Moisture. This is what we've created. Have a look at that texture. I don't see composting creatures yet, but I can tell you something. When the birds turn up on top, so will the composting creatures from underneath. So, fix your garden, folks. Don't just water and walk away and say, oh, it's not growing. Check out what's going on underneath. That's the secret to it all. And I've got to do that with a lot of garden beds here. So we're building them and repairing them and growing some wonderful produce that we're going to share with the family and friends. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. Quick updates, Queensland's coming up. So if you're in Queensland and you're going to be near the show, the Queensland Garden Show, we'll be there as well. It's in July 11th, 12th and 13th. Also, before that, the 1st of June, I should start with that one, WA, Kalamunda Garden Festival. I'll be down there for the weekend. Craig Castry's going there too, along with other presenters. So look out for that. If you're in WA or you're going on a holiday, make sure to pop down there. It's on one day only, 10 till 3. It's on the 1st of June, if I get it right, at Stirk Park in Kalamunda. I'll be there with everybody else. Lots of stalls to enjoy, to see all the wonderful plants, some great food there as well. I tell you, I love those burgers. I'm going for the burgers, if anything. That's what I'm going for, because I'm starving at the moment. So Kalamunda Festival, Queensland, will be announcing New South Wales details to come soon. And I suppose just the website. Enjoy. vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasili, Maresi.